Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something that definitely catches the eye. Starting affiliate marketing,
Right.
but specifically doing it with absolutely no experience and maybe even trickier, with zero money down.
Yeah, it sounds almost like too good to be true, doesn't it? That whole digital bootstrapping idea. Building something online without needing cash up front.
It really does.
Right.
But, the sources we looked at suggest it is possible. It's just,
Oh,
well, it's not a magic button for instant cash.
definitely not. What it costs instead is, well, your time. A lot of it. Plus creativity and probably a good dose of patience.
Think of it less like free money and more like earning it through, consistent effort and being smart about it.
Exactly. You're basically swapping financial capital for your own human capital. Building things like an audience, trust, content people can find, doing it organically.
Okay, so just to make sure everyone's on the same page, especially if this term is new to you, affiliate marketing, at its core, what is it?
It's pretty simple, really. You act as a kind of connector. You promote products or services for another company.
Right.
And if someone clicks your special link and actually buys something, you get a commission. You're like a freelancer promoter for them.
But you don't have to deal with the product itself or shipping or customer complaints.
Nope, none of that. You just focus on the promotion part. You get a unique tracking link.
Ah, yes, the link. And there's usually that cookie thing involved too, right?
Mm-hmm. A little piece of code that gets stored when someone clicks. It often lasts for a set time, maybe 30 days, maybe longer.
So it remembers that you sent them.
Exactly. So even if they don't buy right away, but come back, say next week, within that cookie window and purchase, you can still get the credit, sometimes for their whole shopping cart too.
Okay, got it. It's performance-based then. You earn based on actual results, usually a sale.
Yeah, mostly sales for beginners. Some programs might do leads or clicks, but sales commissions are the most common starting point.
All right. So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack how you actually do this. How do you start affiliate marketing with no experience and, critically, no money, focusing specifically on the free routes available?
Okay, let's lay it out. The sources suggest a pretty clear path. And the very first step, especially when you're starting with empty pockets, is deciding on your channels.
Your marketing channels.
Yeah.
Where you're actually going to, talk to people.
Precisely. Since you can't afford paid ads, you have to rely on free organic traffic, people finding you naturally.
Finding you because your stuff is interesting or helpful, not because you paid to show up.
Exactly. And the sources are pretty unanimous on this. For beginners with no budget, the main game is social media.
The big ones.
Yep.
Like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Yep. Those, plus maybe LinkedIn, depending on the niche, Twitter or X, Pinterest for visual stuff, even Reddit communities or specific groups on Telegram or Discord.
Wow, okay. Lots of options. But they're all different, aren't they? Video here, quick posts there, pictures, longer discussions.
Totally different. And that's a key point. Try to be a master video editor, graphic designer, writer, and community manager on like 5 platforms at once.
Yeah, sounds overwhelming.
Yeah.
Especially with no experience.
It is. So the strong advice is focus. Pick one main platform.
Just one.
Primarily one, yeah. Where you think your target audience actually spends time and, importantly, where you feel you can consistently create the right kind of content. Maybe use 1 or 2 others just to point people towards your main hub.
Rather than trying to build big followings everywhere from day one.
Exactly. Consistency on one beats inconsistent effort on many every time, especially early on. Pour that limited time and energy into one place.
Makes sense. Build momentum.
And one crucial thing across all channels, no matter which you pick, transparency. You must disclose if you're using affiliate links.
That's not just good practice, it's often legally required, right?
It absolutely is in many places. But beyond legality, it's just fundamental for trust. And trust is like the currency of affiliate marketing long term.
Trust is everything. Okay, step 1. Choose your free channels, focus your energy, be transparent. What's next?
Okay, step 2, logically, is choosing your niche.
Your specific topic or audience group.
Exactly. Instead of trying to sell, I don't know, garden tools one day and software the next, you specialize. The sources really hammer this home, especially for beginners.
Why is it so important when you're starting out with nothing? No reputation, no money.
Well, think about it. How do you build credibility? How do you become someone people listen to? If you focus narrowly, you can become the go-to person for that specific thing much faster.
Ah, okay. So instead of being a tiny fish in a huge ocean.
You become a bigger fish in a smaller, more defined pond. Trying to be a generalist right away is a super common mistake. You just get lost in the noise. It's incredibly hard to build trust that way.
So by focusing, you can look like more of an expert to that audience, even if you're still learning yourself.
Precisely. You can share your learning journey. Now, how do you pick that niche? The sources give a few key things to consider.
Okay, like what?
First, and this sounds maybe a bit obvious, but your own interests, your passions.
Something you actually like talking about.
Yeah, because creating content consistently, week after week, month after month, it's hard work. If you're not genuinely interested, you'll likely burn out way before you start earning anything significant.
That's practical. Passion fuels persistence when money doesn't.
Right. Second factor, can you actually help people in this niche? Can you solve their problems? Offer useful tips, reviews, guides, address their pain points.
So it's not just what you like, but where you can provide real value.
Exactly. Value is what builds that relationship, makes people trust you.
Okay, interest plus helpfulness. What else?
Third, you do need to look at, well, profitability and demand. Are there actually people in this niche looking for solutions and, crucially, willing to spend money?
How do you figure that out for free?
This is some basic research. See if other affiliates are active in the niche. See if companies are selling products there. Competition isn't always bad, by the way.
Why is that?
A competitive niche often means there's a proven market. People are buying. The trick, then, the sources suggest, is maybe finding a sub-niche.
Getting more specific.
Yeah, like instead of just, say, fitness, maybe focus on home workouts for busy parents using minimal equipment.
Or like you said, not just coffee, but best grinders for pour over under $50.
Exactly. Drill down. Find that sweet spot where your interest, your ability to help, and actual market demand overlap. That's where you want to be, especially starting with zero budget.
Okay, so channels chosen, niche defined. Now what? You need something to actually sell
Right.
or promote.
Right. Step 3 is joining affiliate programs relevant to that niche.
Finding companies that offer commissions for promoting their stuff. How do you track those down without spending money?
Several free ways mentioned. First, just plain old searching online. Your niche affiliate program, see what comes up.
Simple enough.
Also, look at what other people in your niche are promoting. Who are they linking to? Check the websites of brands you already know, and like in your niche, scroll down to the footer. Often there's an affiliates or partners link.
Okay, checking brand sites directly.
And then there are the big affiliate networks or marketplaces. These are platforms that connect lots of companies with lots of affiliates.
Like Amazon Associates or others.
Yeah, Amazon's a big one, especially for physical products. Then there are networks like ShareSale, CJ Affiliate, Rakuten Advertising, lots of them. The key thing here for the no money approach is that joining these reputable programs and networks, it's almost always free.
That's huge. You don't pay a fee to become an affiliate.
Nope. You apply, they approve you hopefully, and you get your links.
When you're looking at different programs, besides just being relevant to your niche, what should you look for?
Good question. Definitely the company's reputation. You want to promote stuff from brands people trust, right?
Absolutely. Don't want to recommend junk.
Exactly. Then, obviously, the commission rate. Is it a percentage? A flat fee? Is it decent enough to be worth your effort? Some networks might show an EPC, earnings per click.
Earnings per click? What's that tell you?
It's supposed to give you an average of what affiliates earn for each click they send to that merchant. But honestly, for a beginner, take those numbers with a huge grain of salt. Your results will depend entirely on your audience and your content.
Got it. Focus on reputation and a fair commission first. And the cookie duration we mentioned earlier.
Right. Check how long the cookie lasts. 30 days is common, sometimes 60, 90, or even longer. A longer cookie window gives you more time to potentially earn that commission after someone clicks.
Okay, now let's talk earnings, because you see these huge numbers thrown around in affiliate marketing. What's realistic for someone starting from absolute zero?
Yeah, expectations need to be managed here. The sources are pretty clear. Starting out, especially with no budget and no experience, earnings will likely be very low. Maybe nothing for a while.
Really? Zero?
It's possible, yeah. Or maybe a few bucks here and there. Getting to, say, a few $100s a month, maybe eventually hitting $1,000 a month. That takes real time and consistent effort, often many months.
So those stories of making $10K or $100 a year?
That's definitely possible, but that's typically for established affiliates who've put in the time, built a real audience, figured out what works. It's not where you start on day one with no money.
Patience and persistence again. Not a get-rich-quick thing.
Not even close. It's about building something sustainable. Okay, so you've got your channels, your niche, your programs. How do people actually find you and your links?
Ah, that brings us to keywords, right? Step 4.
Exactly. Keywords are crucial. They're the words and phrases people type into Google or search for on social media.
The hashtags on Instagram or TikTok, the search terms on YouTube or Pinterest.
They signal what people are looking for, their intent. You need to use the right keywords in your content so the right people can discover it.
And again, the no-budget challenge.
Right.
How do you find good keywords without fancy, expensive software?
You can do a lot for free. The sources suggest starting simple. Use Google itself. Type in a topic related to your niche. See what Google suggests as you type. That's autocomplete.
Yeah, the drop-down list.
Those are terms people are actually searching for. Also, look at the people also ask boxes on the results page and the related searches at the very bottom. Gold mines of ideas.
So Google basically tells you what related things people are interested in.
It does. On social platforms, just explore hashtags within your niche. See what's popular, what kind of content uses them. There are also some free keyword tools online, though the free versions are usually pretty limited. They might give you a rough idea of search volume for a few terms.
And the sources mention something called long-tail keywords being good for beginners.
Yes, this is a really important strategy when you're starting with no authority and no budget. Long-tail keywords are longer, more specific phrases, usually 3, 4, 5 words or more.
Like instead of just running shoes.
Maybe best running shoes for flat feet under $100. Or how to choose running shoes for marathon training. Much more specific.
Okay, so fewer people might search for that exact phrase, but the ones who do
are likely much more serious about finding exactly that information. They're often further along in the buying process, and there's way less competition for those specific terms compared to broad ones like running shoes.
So it's a way to find your specific audience without fighting the big guys for the most popular terms.
Precisely. It lets you get discovered organically even when you're small. It's smart.
Okay, find the right search terms using free methods. That leads directly into the next step, which feels like the real core of it all.
Absolutely. Step 5. Create relevant and engaging content. This is where you deliver the value, build the relationship, and naturally weave in those affiliate links.
Not just like pasting links everywhere.
Oh, definitely not. That just looks spammy. The sources stress. Your content has to be value-driven. It must help your audience, solve a problem, answer a question, teach them something, entertain them within your niche.
Things like product reviews, tutorials, comparisons.
Yes. Those are classic high-value formats. Think detailed how-to guides, checklists, resource lists, case studies of how you used something, content that actually helps someone make a decision or learn something new.
And honesty comes back into play here again, right?
Massively. The sources are really strong on this. Recommend products you genuinely believe in. Ideally, stuff you've actually used. If you haven't used it, be clear about that and review it based on research, specs, and other user feedback. Don't just hype something for the commission.
Because people see through that pretty quickly.
Instantly. And that trust you're trying to build. Gone. Poof. Long-term success relies on authenticity. People buy for people they trust.
So focus on helpful formats like reviews, comparisons, guides. But what if you don't have the money to buy every single product to review it?
That's a fair point. And the sources kind of address this by focusing on the value you provide. You don't always need the physical product. You can review the idea of it. Who is this for? What problem does it solve based on its features? You can do deep comparisons based on specs and user reviews you find online.
Okay, so research-based reviews are okay, as long as you're upfront.
Yeah, and you focus on being helpful. You can create tutorials for software you use, even free versions. You can share your learning process, use free tools Canva for basic graphics, maybe a free screen recorder for demos, free writing tools to check clarity. The helpfulness and your unique perspective matter more than slick production, especially at the start.
Focus on the information, the honesty, the help. Use free tools creatively. Okay, that feels manageable. What's the final piece then? The last step.
The final step, number 6, is all about keeping up with audience engagement. This isn't just about publishing, it's about building a community.
Talking with people, not just at them.
Exactly. Responding to comments, answering questions, joining conversations in your niche, being present and accessible, showing your audience you actually value their input.
It makes the whole thing feel more human, less like a faceless website trying to sell something.
For sure. And that engagement does 2 things.
Yeah.
1, it builds loyalty and deepens that trust we keep talking about. 2, it actually signals to the platform algorithms, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, or wherever, that your content is interesting and valuable.
Oh, so engagement can actually help more people see your stuff.
It often does, yeah.
Yeah.
The platforms want to show content that keeps people interacting. So engaging genuinely is also kind of free marketing in itself.
And again, that honesty and transparency,
Yeah.
vital for keeping that trust once you've started engaging.
Underpins the whole thing. Consistency in creating good content and consistency in engaging authentically, they go together.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up then, based on everything we've pulled from the sources.
Yeah.
Starting affiliate marketing with zero experience, zero money. It looks like this. Step 1, pick your free channels, mainly social media, and focus hard on one main platform. Step 2, choose a specific niche you're genuinely interested in, where you can actually help people and where there's some market potential, maybe finding a sub-niche. Step 3, join relevant affiliate programs for free. Look for good brands, fair commissions.
Yep. Free to join.
Step 4, use free methods to find keywords, especially those long-tail specific ones your target audience is searching for.
Less competition there.
Step 5, create truly valuable, honest content reviews, guides, tutorials that helps your audience using free tools creatively.
Value first, always.
And finally, step 6, consistently engage with your audience. Build that community, that trust.
That's the roadmap. It's a path built on sweat equity, basically. Your time, your effort, your creativity instead of cash. It demands consistency, discipline, and a whole lot of patience. The sources are clear. Significant income takes time. Those early months might feel slow.
You're building a foundation brick by brick, not flipping a switch for instant income.
Exactly. You're learning skills, building assets, your content, your audience relationship that can pay off down the line.
So as you think about maybe trying this, starting from scratch, here's a final thought that came through in the sources for you to mull over. If you genuinely focus first and foremost on helping people solve their problems within your chosen niche, how might that authentic approach naturally lead to opportunities, maybe even beyond just the affiliate commissions themselves,